Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is take a few minutes and give you all some thoughts and ideas on how to write an events planning business plan, as well as some financial projections for an event planning company. So without further ado, let's go ahead and mosey on through this little PowerPoint presentation that I have prepared for y'all. But before we get into talking about your event planning business and some tips and tricks for writing the business plan and some financial modeling, a little bit about me, and then we'll talk about you and your needs for the event planning business. First and foremost, I am a professional writer. I love to write, especially love to write business plans. So if y'all want to avoid the trials and tribulations related to writing your own event planning business plan, please pick up the phone, give me calls, send me a text, send me an email. Be delighted to assist. Also, if you do want to go ahead and travel down the path of writing your own events planning, business plan, and financial model, feel free, help yourself, enjoy, but at least have some kind of a guide. And one of those guides could be one of my books from Amazon. So if you do need a template or a book, check me out on Amazon or go to my website. Be, again, delighted to provide any assistance that I could possibly provide. And finally, educational experience. I am a finance adjunct professor as well as a business professor. And also a subject matter expert in both fields. So if y'all do want some financial modeling or some other type of consulting, again, please pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email, be delighted to assist. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about your needs. When y'all are doing an event planning company, tip number one is going to be company description. When you are writing up your business plan for an events planning company, one of the sections you're going to cover is the company description. In the company description, before you dive right in and start talking about your business and what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and why you're going to do it and when you're going to do it and where you're going to do it, introduce who you are and give the reader or just for yourself, document why you are actually going to do this business. So before you get into talking about your business, explain why you want to do the business or why you want to expand the business. Put some kind of a foundation or set some kind of a foundation for your events planning business to give the reader a perspective of where you're coming from. An example of this would be that some people are always asking you to plan their events, whether it be a wedding, a birthday party, or a corporate event. People are always coming to you. You have this knack, and you've already have this reputation established. Instead of making it a hobby, why not turn it into a business? So that's just just one of the examples of how you can share a story or a life experience that has prepared you for starting or expanding an events planning business. The next thing that you should cover, in my most humble of opinions, when you do your company description, is identify what the problem that you are solving. Yes, you're doing events planning for a birthday party, and that's what you're going to do, and these are all the things that you do, but make sure you understand the problem that you're solving. Parents may not have the time or their experience or the expertise to properly plan a birthday party, or they might not have the time to plan the birthday party. Also, money savings. Some parents say they're really extravagant and they're going to go over above and beyond and buy the most expensive items that they're never going to use again. An example of this would be like some kind of a stage or something. And when they invest in those kind of significant funds, it's almost a waste of money for them. And thus, when you're doing your event planning and you can bring these props or these ideas or these concepts to the table, and the parents don't have to spend all this additional money for items that they're only going to use one time, now you're saving them money. The time saved is also an added advantage. Next is going to be your competitive advantage. There's not just one flavor of event planner. Some specialize in birthdays, some specialize in festivities, some specialize in corporate planning. There are a lot of generalists out there. But there's also a lot of niche experts as well. Some people might specialize in a wedding event planner, or they might specialize in corporate events. Regardless if you are a generalist or a specialist, first and foremost, identify what you are. in your competitive advantage section, that is. So if you are a niche expert, a wedding planner or a corporate event planner specifically, then tell the reader what it is. You are a niche expert in this type of an event, and then describe the benefits for that strategy that you are embracing. If you're a generalist and you are just, you're going to plan whatever event somebody has in mind, then describe that too. Explain that you've got significant experience in all types of events, and that's why your broad skills are going to be beneficial for your customers' needs. So regardless, for the competitive advantage, if you're a niche expert or a generalist, make sure to identify which and exploit the opportunities and discuss them in the company description section. All right, next, tip number 2, industry research. A lot of event planners, what they like to do is they like to jump on the internet and Google event planner in their area, and then identify all the different event planners that are in their area and discuss the pros and cons of those different businesses. The problem with that strategy is that you have not established that you are an expert in the industry. Who are you to evaluate and critique your competitors if you haven't documented that you're an expert yourself? So before you start, tying into your competitors, establish a foundation as an expert. And when you're doing that, the best place to do that is going to be your industry research. So tip number 2 is industry research. Where you can get the information from on a general or a national scale is going to be go to Statistica or go to IBIS World or go to several other different research platforms that are going to offer statistics and ideas as to trends in the event planning business. So for example, just a real quick Google search, I was able to identify that virtual events are on the rise. So most people think of the event planner as a brick and mortar. You're going to come and you're going to go ahead and set up a location with whatever you're going to set it up with, provide maybe some catering, and so forth. However, a lot of event planners are going virtual, obviously because of this COVID that's going around right now. But again, when that subsides, virtual event planners are going to be critical because of the virtual environment that we are doing business with, and people are trying to save time and travel. If you can go ahead and provide similar benefits through a virtual event as compared to an in-person event, then business owners may go ahead and either A, add additional virtual events, or B, they might even substitute in-person events for virtual. Who knows? But just know the fact remains, virtual events are on the rise. Take steps to exploit that opportunity, however you may be able to do that. The next industry trend that is going on right now in the event planner industry is that business leaders more and more are viewing events as an important tool for their business, whether it be for morale or whether it be for opportunities to educate in a social environment. It doesn't matter. Business leaders are seeing events as an important business aspect. When they see that, more funds are going to be divested towards more events, and more competitors are going to be entering the industry as well. So just keep that in mind, is that business leaders see this as an important practice. So that does mean in the foreseeable future, revenues for the industry should grow, and you'll be prepared for that. Once you set the stage and the foundation that you are an event planning expert, you can then dive into some competitor research. And then when you do your competitor research, align what your competitors are doing with industry trends. For example, if competitor A in your area is not doing virtual events, well, examine competitor A from the perspective of a national trend and show how they are not exploiting that market opportunity. And then once you're done with that, you are going to be able to implicitly show the reader that, yes, you have done your research. Yes, your competitors are not exploiting that opportunity. And through your business plan, you are prepared to exploit this opportunity. So you're tackling a lot of, you're shooting a lot of birds with one bullet by just preparing and structuring your industry research in that specific manner. Tip number 3 is advertising. Event planners do a phenomenal job for the most part with the social media and the website and the word of mouth. However, some of the social media and the website and the word of mouth, they're not aligned with a singular or a set scope of a message. So that's one of the big things. Tip number 3, advertising. Keep your message scope narrow. Don't try to advertise for weddings and bar mitzvah and for birthday parties and for just everything you can possibly think of. You're setting your scope too wide, and you're going to have a difficult time targeting the specific audience that you're wishing to target. So when you're getting into your advertising, especially for the social media, one of the best things you can do is post pictures of previous events. The pictures are going to speak louder than words. It's an old cliche, it's worn out cliche, but it's a true cliche. If you host a birthday party, post some pictures of the birthday party, as long as you have the people's, the individual's consent. If you do a corporate event, again, take some pictures of the corporate event. Not only are they getting some advertising for the event, but you're also getting some advertising as well. On your website, a lot of event planners, what they'll do is, again, they'll describe their services and what they do, but they forget to go ahead and set the walls and the floors and the ceilings of their location. For example, if you're in the Central Florida area, you might not do a birthday party that's in Miami, or you might not do a corporate event that's in Jacksonville. If you don't, then make sure you set your parameters on the geographic area for which you're going to serve. If you're going to do a virtual event, well then maybe the world is your stage, pun intended. But yeah, so just make sure you identify what your geographic location is, and if it's not a parameter, then make sure you state that as well. Word of mouth advertising, event planners do a real good job with that. And another thing that event planners have been doing more and more, but not as prevalent as I would hope, is for the advertising, join the Chamber of Commerce. You've got, especially if you're a corporate event planner, when you're hunting buffalo, go to a buffalo are. If you are a corporate event planner, go to where corporate executives are or business owners are, and that is going to be your Chamber of Commerce meetings. That's going to be your Chamber of Commerce social events. So if that's one of your target markets, then make sure you exploit the opportunity of the Chamber of Commerce. It's in my opinion, it's underutilized, and it's a great opportunity for marketing that is outside of the box of the traditional website, social media, and word-of-mouth advertising. Tip number 4, funding requests. Every business that has ever been started, that will ever be started, has been started with money. Whether it's your own money out of your pocket or under your mattress, or whether you're borrowing the money from mom, dad, neighbor Jill, or down the street from bank number A. Whatever you are doing, you're going to need money to start or expand your business. So because of that need, a funding request is almost always a part of a business plan. Unfortunately, the funding request is not usually structured to give you the best opportunity to raise the funds. So my most humble of opinions, when you are writing your funding request, first and foremost, on the first sentence of the first paragraph in your funding request, explicitly state how much money do you need. If you need $350,000, then put $350,000. Don't put between $250,000 and $400,000. That shows that you have no idea how much money you need. You're wishy-washy, and you're really putting a bad flavor in the mouth of potential investors when you do that. So first sentence, funding request, put a specific dollar amount. Now, you're going to need wiggle room when you are doing your funding request, because you're not going to know how many streamers you're going to need in the inventory when you're ready to start up operations. You don't know. So you need a little bit of wiggle room, just not at the top. Be specific at the top, but in the categories within the funding request section, be a little bit more general in your categories. An example of this would be your build out. Just build out is going to be when you get an office space or when you get a warehouse space for your material, you're going to have to customize that space to meet your needs. That is your build out. And don't go into too much details right there. Just put a budgeted amount for maybe $50,000 for your budget, but your build out. Next is going to be working capital. Once you start your business, day one, you're going to need money in the checking account to keep the lights on and to keep the employees paid and so on. So you're going to want to go ahead and have a working capital budget. In that working capital budget should be some money for advertising as well. So that could be like $40,000 or what have you. But you are explicitly stating how much working capital you need, but you're not stating where that money is going to. So again, you got wiggle room right there. Equipment, you're going to need equipment as well, whether it be for decor, whether it be for the truck or a car for transporting your material. Just make sure you put equipment. No need to go too general, no need to go too specific with that, and a dollar amount there. And then your inventory, your party supplies and such. Again, that is going to be another good category for you to have in your funding request. So once you identify all your categories for your funding request, make sure to put a grand total at the bottom. And that grand total should be the identical number that you have at the top of your funding request. All right, tip number 5, a little bit of money. Most people, when they want to start their event planning company, they want to have a little bit of cheese at the end of the day, a little bit of profits to show that their hard work has been rewarded. In order to determine whether your company is going to make a profit or not, you're going to need some kind of a basic financial model or a basic profit and loss structure that's going to help you track your potential revenues and identify what your fixed costs are going to be and whether you're going to make a profit or how much you need to sell on a daily or weekly or monthly basis in order to generate a profit. Now, for this event planning basic profit and loss statement, the way I've structured this is going to be that we are doing the profit and loss based on a monthly scale. So the categories for potential revenues are going to be some, various celebrations, corporate events, and then other. The average price for a celebration is going to be $4,500. This is just an estimate. And the variable cost might be $2,000. This might be your supplies and your travel costs and what have you, whatever costs are going to be aligned with this particular celebration. And this is just an average. So your variable cost may be $2,000. In order to get the gross profits for your celebration, you are going to take the price, average price that you're going to charge, deduct your variable costs, are going to give you your gross profits. Once you're done with that, you need to identify or estimate how many celebrations you're going to have in a given month. In this estimate, I'm saying that we're going to have 3. So we're going to take that 3, we're going to multiply it by the $2,500, and it's going to give us $7,500 for a gross profit for the month. Once we're done with that, we're going to then do the same strategy for corporate and other, and we're going to add up all of our total gross profits right here. The next thing we're going to do in some situations, we're going to multiply it by days in a month. It's going to be 1 because we are doing this on a monthly scale. You're not going to do, for the most part, you're not going to do an event or a celebration on a daily basis. It's going to be more of, you might be doing 3 celebrations in a month, 2 corporate events for a month, and then 2 other events. So, base this on a monthly scale when you're first starting up. Once you start growing, then you can kick this into a daily scale. So once we're done with that, that's going to give us our gross monthly profits. In this example, $21,500. Next thing we need to do is figure out what the heck our monthly costs are going to be. Now, these are called fixed costs, and it is a lie because our fixed costs, unfortunately, do change on a monthly basis. For example, your utilities might be $750 in one month, but $675 the next month, and then $825 in the month after. The only consistency is, guess what? You're paying utilities. So these are just estimated monthly fixed costs. So make a list of your estimated fixed costs. In this particular example, we got $750 for a loan, inventory $1,500, labor $4,000, space rental $2,500, marketing $3,000, insurance, legal, and such $125, and then miscellaneous, the wonderful miscellaneous, the catch-all of catch-alls, is $1,250. Once we identify the monthly fixed costs, add them up. Total is $13,875. Now we're at the fun part. Once we have our monthly revenues estimated and our monthly costs estimated, we are now ready to figure out these monthly profits. In this third section right here, go ahead and pull down your gross monthly profits, which is right here, $21,500. Pull it down here, and then tie in your monthly costs. We got $18,375 here. pull it down to $13,875 right here. Once we have that structure set up, just deduct your cost from your gross profits, and voila, we now have a net profit in this example, $7,625. Now, if y'all need some help with these financial projections, yes, I am available to just do financial projections as well as write business plans. So don't hesitate to give old Paul a call here, and to be delighted to assist in these projections. All right, so in a summary, for your event planning company, first and foremost, make sure to always follow some kind of a proven format. If you are going to start your event planning business plan with a blank piece of paper, then guess what? In a couple hours, a couple days, a couple months, even a couple of years, you may still be staring at that same blank sheet of paper because you don't have any structure or a format that helps you get your thoughts and ideas flowing and documented. So whether it be going to the SBA website, downloading a template from them, or picking up the phone, give me a call, visit my website, and buying a template from me, at least go with some kind of a proven format to help you structure your thoughts and ideas and keep you from the white page staring syndrome that a lot of business owners are susceptible to. Next is to keep the star of the show as the business. Some entrepreneurs, and I am guilty of this once in a while, they think they are the end-all be-all of their business, and they want everybody to know it. Unfortunately, when you do that for the business plan, you lose focus of the business. The whole point of a business plan is to talk about your business. So do that. Make sure to keep your focus on the business. Talk about, what your company is going to do, how your company is going to do it, the potential profits, your target market. Talk about how your organization is going to be structured. Talk about the trends in your industry. Talk about your business and the industry. Yes, when you get to the organization section, go ahead and talk about yourself and discuss why you are doing what you're doing, but don't make yourself the star of the show. Keep it as your business. And finally, if you need some help with your business plan, if you need some help with your industry research, your financial modeling, please pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text. I would be absolutely delighted to assist. All right, now if you all want some more information and some more fun with writing your event planning business plan, please mosey on over to my website at qualitybusinessplan.com/how to write an event planning business plan. And then once you're there, just take a look at some more tips and tricks that I've provided for y'all in reference to how to write an event planning business plan. And then finally, if y'all need a template for your event planning business, I am in the process of creating one. So just mosey on over again to qualitybusinessplan.com, business plan templates, and then just scroll down to where it says event planning template. If it is not there, that means I am still working on it. Please send me a message and say, hey, Paul, hurry up, need this event planning business plan, and what I'll do is I'll move that up to the top of the list, and I'll wrap it up for you pretty darn quick. So hopefully this video was helpful in discussing your event planning business and how you can best write a business plan for it, and how you can structure a financial model for your event planning business. And if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up on YouTube, and have a fantastic, wonderful rest of the day.